Today, we are talking about the 5 best epic heroes in the game. Now, these are just my opinion. Some of the heroes that I've got to test out, some of the heroes I've got to play with, and these are by no means are the only good epics in the game, but this is my opinion. Number 1 is going to be Santos. Now, Santos is going to be geared primarily for newer players. Early game to mid game players, Santos is very, very good. Once you start building some of your other heroes like Nathalia, like Hitoshi, they will become a little bit more obsolete because now you don't no longer need poisons because your heroes are really, really good and they do a ton of damage. But for early to mid game players, that is going to be Santos. Now, why is Santos really good? Because she puts up poisons, and all poisons require is focus to land, and that is it. And if you do not know, poisons deal damage based on the max health of the enemy at the end of turn. That should say based on the enemy's max health, not the hero's max health. So the higher health your enemy has, the more damage poisons deal, which is really, really good. They are very easy to apply, and you don't need crazy stats to run your Santos. Now, this one is level 50. As you can see, she does have a few stars on her, but that's okay, and you really don't need to level her to 60, so she's going to be my first best epic in the game. The second best epic in the game that I talk about a lot is, of course, Nathalia. Nathalia is really good everywhere, even if she has or does not have a guard set. She is really, really good, and she does a ton of damage. She has an amazing passive. If affected by positive effects at the beginning of her turn, she applies attack up and immune, and that immune is very, very good in Ash Magisteria to deflect the bomb, right? And then she also affects other heroes. If you do not know, if you are newer to the game, Nathalia is a single target damage dealer, but if she has buffs, she targets everybody, right? So she becomes an AoE damage dealer if she starts with buffs, and that is why she's very, very good in a guard set. And apparently this one is missing some gear, but that is okay. That is my second copy of Nathalia. My main Nathalia does have a guard set on, if I can find her. There she is. She is in a 1 guard set and 2 raider sets, and that is why she is really, really good. And if you don't have a guard set, you can pair her with somebody like Joseph. Joseph is very, very good to pair with Nathalia and with some other heroes because he can put up buffs on your whole team, but he is not an epic. The next epic for me is going to be Baron. Now, Baron is really, really good. I have gotten a chance to play with her. I've seen her in action. I did not build this one all the way, but I've seen a lot of her in action from my friends and some community members, and she is really, really good. Been meaning to build her, keep forgetting, never got around to it because I feel like I have enough damage. But what makes Baron really, really good, I did test her at level 40. She did pretty good damage, and since then, I've taken her gear, and I've actually used it on some of the other heroes like Zachary. Going back to Baron, what makes her really, really good is, of course, her ultimate, the damage that she deals, and she absolutely slaps. She absolutely annihilates the enemy team because her damage to all enemies scales based on the number of remaining heroes, and she ignores 30% of defense for targets over 50% current health. So she is absolutely an annihilating machine, and she is another really, really good epic. So if you have her, feel free to use her. Now, Baron is a little bit more arena focused, but that's okay. You can still find ways to use her in other areas of the game. One of the other epics I really, really like is Lunar Melt. If you are lucky enough to pull Lunar Melt, I have made several videos showing off how good she is. Now, at first glance, she doesn't look too good because she's not a damage dealer. But what makes Lunar Melt really, really good is her ultimate, and of course, is the taunt. The taunt locks out your enemy opponents, locks out the enemy team, and forces them to use their basics, which means they can't do much damage. And it also buys you a few turns so you can do a lot more damage to them than they can to you. The only trick with Lunar Melt is you want her fast to make sure she's one of the first heroes to go. Now, mine is not super fast. She can get a little bit faster, but with another hero like Winstrix or Halia that gives a speed boost, this works. Now, she also has a special on top of her ultimate. It does stun one enemy, which is really, really nice. So she has a nice overall kit that makes her very valuable for saving your team's lives and minimizing the damage that your team does to you by controlling them. So if you are lucky enough to get Lunar Melt, she is very, very good in Arena and Hard Void Tower. And the fifth epic that I absolutely like is Asrina. Now, Asrina got reworked from her original form, from what she originally used to do. This game is getting a little bit laggy. As you can see, it's starting to lag a little bit. We probably need a new patch, but Asrina has gotten much better. The Ignite skill got reworked not too long ago, and it actually does a lot more damage now. And Asrina used to be very free-to-play friendly. When I started, you used to get her for free, and ever since then, they've changed who you get. So she was very, very good starting out because she was extremely easy to get just by completing submissions. If you have Asrina, you can build an Ignite team. She does really good. The only thing with Asrina that you have to focus on is she needs lots of attack because Ignite scales with the applier's attack. So that is the only thing. You have to build Asrina in as much Ignite as you can, but she does really well in a warrior set and in a curse set because Ignite does a lot of damage, and I use her a lot in Tulpa, especially in a lower budget free-to-play teams. As I mentioned before, she used to be free-to-play when I started playing. However, ever since then, they've reworked the new player experience and new player rewards, and I don't believe you get her as a new player anymore, but she's still very easy to pull. She's still very popular, and she is very good in Roaring Tulpa. So if you are looking to farm Roaring Tulpa, she is very, very good in Roaring Tulpa along with Bella, who is a legendary hero. So there is my list of the top 5 epics that I think are really, really good. There are lots and lots of epics. Of course, everything is situational, depending on what you want to do. But that is my list of the heroes that I enjoy. I've tried to put in some harder to get ones, also some easier to get ones. Marion Shadowblood, of course, is on everyone's top list, but she is a little bit harder to get since she is a dark element. So for newer and mid-account players, I did not include her in. So that is my list. Let me know your list down in the comments below. Let me know who's making a huge difference on your account and who you are really enjoying. With that said, hit the like and the subscribe. And for more BearCozy videos, check out the top right.